Hello, in this video I'm going to do a basic overview of the command center geared for medical websites. So in the upper right hand corner of the command center we have the website drop down selector, and on the drop down list you can actually pull up a link to your website, whether it's live or if we have it on a temporary domain. You can still view the website, start making changes to it. Also on that website drop down selector we have the Publish Website Changes button. This is going to be the button you click on after you're done saving your changes, and that's what's going to send those saved changes from the command center to the website. Now over on the left here we have our navigation bar, and we're going to jump into the store section here first and jump into the Catalog Manager. The Catalog Manager would allow you to add and remove the catalogs that are going to be loaded up on your website. And when we get to the Catalog Manager, it defaults to the Active tab, and the Active tab is going to list out the enabled catalog brands on your website. Now if we need to add another brand, all we have to do is go to the Available tab, and that'll list out everything that's available. So if we need to add a new catalog, we just have to check the box, save changes. Now I'm going to go back to the Active tab, and the one I just enabled here, Roho, is going to show up on the list, but it says 0 enabled. So I'm going to click on Roho. It's going to expand. I'm going to check the box for the 2013 catalog and save changes. If you need to remove a catalog, go back to the Available tab, find the one you want to turn off, like Dr. Comfort, check the box, save changes. Then in the pop-up window, you just need to click on the Remove Catalogs button. See a little message here that the catalogs have been updated. So pretty straightforward for adding and removing catalogs. Now in the store section of the command center, I'm going to jump into the Product Manager. And the Product Manager would allow you to search and pull up products out of the catalogs that are enabled to manage. And by managing, I mean making pricing adjustments on products, adding products to product groups, or even excluding products. So maybe there's certain products you don't want to display on the website, so you can exclude them to turn them off, or you could even enable products that have been excluded to turn them back on. So the Product Manager has these different search by tabs, and each tab is a different way to search for products on the website to manage. So for example, you could search by part number. You could search by a single part number or multiple. You would just separate them with a comma, and when you hit search, it would just pull up those specific part numbers to then edit. So that can be the fastest way to pull up one or a handful. You can also search by product category. So this will list out a bunch of medical equipment categories here. And we could choose a category like walking aids and search. Or these blue arrows, they allow you to expand on an option and get more specific. Maybe we want to just pull up walkers out of walking aids. If we go to the Catalog e-commerce tab, it'll list out the brands that we have enabled in the Catalog Manager. And we could select one like Drive and search. That'd be a fairly broad search because it would pull up the first 200 out of however many products Drive has. But we could drill down on Drive and choose a specific category out of Drive, like wheelchairs. And we can even use these search by tabs in combination. So I've narrowed it down to wheelchairs out of Drive, but now I'm going to go to the Product Categories tab and expand on wheelchairs and select power wheelchairs. So now I'm going to search, and we're going to pull up the power wheelchairs out of Drive. Now once the results load, we can mark products as selected, one or multiple, to edit. And once you mark your products as selected, you would then click on Edit Selected Products, and it would pop up a new window with the options you have to edit your product with. Well, with this first example here, I'm going to go with Set Store List Price. And this would allow you to change the price from the MSRP by going $percentage off MSRP. You can go $percentage above. You could even choose fixed dollar value and just type in the price you want to be listed for that product. Or you could even remove the price or set products as call for price. So I'm going to go with percentage off MSRP, and in the pricing adjustment value field, I'm going to type in 10. I want to do 10% off, and I'm going to save changes. And when you change your store price like that, it will stay that way until you manually change it back. Well, now I'm going to take another product on the list here and mark it as selected. Go with Edit Selected Products. But this time I'm going to go with Add to a Sale. And I'm going to create a new sale. And when you create a sale, you can go percentage off the MSRP or fixed dollar value again. Well, I'm going to go with percentage off again. I'm going to do 10% off again. But when you create a sale, you're going to put in a start date, which could be today or a date in the future. The sale price wouldn't kick in until that date. You're also going to put in an end date, and the sale price would revert back automatically on that end date. So that's one of the differences right there between setting the store list price and adding to a sale. The store list price, there's no start and end date. Also with a sale, you put in a description or a title. It is going to display on the website when you're looking at the product in that sale. And I'm going to call it Drive Power Chair Sale. And I'm going to save those changes. Now I'm going to take those two products that I changed the price on and a handful of other products on the list here too. I'm going to go to Edit Selected Products again. But this time I'm going to go with Add to a Product Group. These product groups won't populate on your home page until you add products to them. You can add up to 50 products to each group. You can mix and match from different brands or catalogs and add the products into the same grouping. So we're going to add these products to the featured group. I'm going to save the changes, of course. This time I'm actually going to publish the changes. You could publish after each individual save, or you can make a series of save changes and just publish once. Now I'm going to go back to the website and refresh, and we should see our featured section populate on the home page now. And the first two products are the ones I changed the price on. The first one here, the Cirrus Plus, this is the one I changed the store price on and discounted it 10%. So if I click on that product and it gets to the detail page, there's really no indicator that we changed the price. It's just listing out the price here for the different variants or options, with that 10% off. But if we back up a screen here, and when you add products to a sale, they show up on the website with a little sale banner on the thumbnail image. And when you get to the detail page of a product that's in a sale, it'll have the sale description, the end date, the discount value, and when you get to a week left in the sale, it'll add this last line of text and it counts it down each day, like 7 days left, so on, creating a sense of urgency, like they better go buy now. And we can also see clearly the difference in the price. It's going to have the MSRP, the sale price, and people will be able to see how much they're saving. Now back in the command center, if there's products that you don't want to display on the website, you can mark them as selected on the results, and again click on Edit Selected Products, and in the pop-up window you would choose to exclude the selected products and then check the box, yes, exclude selected products from my site, save. And there is an excluded column on the search results list. So if it says yes in that column, then those products are not actually displaying on the website. but they will show up in the command center still. And you can take products that have been excluded and mark them as selected in edit and enable them to turn them back on. So they would show up on the website after publishing. Now I'm going to go here in the store section under the product manager to product groups. And this is where you can customize the groups that you're adding products to. And you can retitle the groups here. Instead of clearance items, we could call it monthly specials and save. You can also add more groups too and use as many groups as you want. We just set up 2 by default. So now that I've added a third group, I could title that Aids to Daily Living, save changes, and then I could go back to the product manager and add products to that group. Off to the right here, we have the row shown drop-down selector, and it defaults to 1 row. And there's 4 products in a row. You can show between 1 and 4 rows on the home page for each group. So if you're only showing 1 row, you only see the first 4 products in the group on the home page. If you have more than 4 in the group, this View More link shows up automatically, and it'll bring you to that group's page where it lists out all the products you have in that group. Again, the max is 50. So I'm going to change that from 1 row to 2 rows, and we'll save changes, publish. Now we can see there's 2 rows on the home page for the group. So again, you can show between 1 and 4 rows on the home page for each group. There's also an edit button off to the right here for each group, and that would pull up a list of the products you currently have in the group. And you can change the order of the products within the group. So if you're only showing 1 row, you may want to rotate out the top 4 products on the home page every now and then. And you can do that by simply clicking on these icons on the left and doing a drag and drop, or you can click on the move to top arrows, and it'll move it to the top of the list. You can also remove products from the group here. So you can mark them as selected, hit remove selected from group. Wouldn't be removing them from the website, just out of that product grouping. So after I publish and go back to the home page and refresh, that product group is just going to disappear because there's no longer any products in it. So the product manager can be a pretty handy tool to promote products, adjust the pricing on products, exclude products you don't want to display on the site, and hopefully help you sell more stuff. Moving on, I'm going to jump into the site content section of the command center, and I'm going to drop down under edit pages to edit site pages. And from here on this page list, you can actually add or create new pages on your website. And when you add a page, you'll have to come up with a title for that page. I'm going to title that Rentals. I'm also going to use Rentals as the page header title. The page file name, that's what's going to show up in the address bar after your website address. I'm just going to use Rentals again. You can use numbers, letters on the page file name, dashes, underscore, but no spaces. And now I'm going to hit the Save button. And I'm going to go in and edit the primary content area, what we call an asset here in the command center. So for the primary content, we can hit the edit button off to the right, which is going to bring us to the editor window. And we can click into that editor window and start adding whatever text we want to display on that page. Pretty easy to click in there and add, edit, delete text. You also have some font adjustment buttons on the toolbar, bold, underline. You can change your font size, font color. And you can also work with images here too in the editor window. So we have the media browser button on the toolbar that will pop up a new window. And here you can see a list of the images I currently have in the file browser. But if we toggle to the Upload tab and click on Select Files, you would be able to browse and upload other images off of your computer into the file browser. Now that it's uploaded, I can go back to the Browse tab and see that image that I just uploaded. Now that I have the image I want in the file browser, I can select it, and off to the right gives me some sizing options. So I can go with the recommended size, the original size I uploaded at, thumbnail size, or I can put in the dimensions or custom size. And once you set your size, you would click on Insert Selected and would drop that image into the editor window. And once you have the image in the editor window, you can click on it and do a drag and drop and resize it that way. You also have your alignment buttons in case you want to center the image. Browser's being a little bit finicky, but I think you get the idea of what's going on here. Now, we started out by going under Edit Pages to Edit Site Pages, and we added a new page. But on this page list, you can pull up existing pages and turn them on and off. So I can see the videos page here is inactive. So when you click on a page on this page list, it pulls up the page detail. And from here, I can check the active box and save, or I could even go in and change the page title, or go in and edit the primary content or the asset on the page. If we go to Edit Navigation, it would allow you to edit the navigation bar on your website, the primary navigation tabs, and even the drop-down or child pages in the navigation bar. So once we get to Edit Navigation, it gives us a total list of all the primary navigation tabs and even the drop-down and child pages. And we can click on Hide All Children and just list out the primary navigation tabs here. Well, the first thing I want to do is add a new page to the navigation bar. So I'm going to click on New Navigation Link. And in the link location field, you would start typing in the title of the page that you want to add, and then you will select it from the drop-down palette, and it will auto-populate the page name into the link name field, but you could change it there if you want. I'm going to save the navigation. But now I want to change the order. I still want home to be the far left going across on the navigation bar, and I'm going to want map to be the far right, and you can adjust the order just by doing a drag and drop. Now I'm going to click on Show Children for Home, and I want to remove Gallery from under Home because I would rather have that under About Us. So I'm going to click on the X off to the right to remove Gallery from under Home. I'm not going to delete the page. And now I'm going to, for About Us, click on the plus child link button. I'm going to start to type in the title of the page here, select Gallery from the drop-down. But instead of calling it Gallery, I want to have it be titled Photo Gallery. I'm going to save the navigation. Also going to publish, go back to the site, and refresh. Now we can see map in the navigation bar, and if we hover over About Us, we've now got Photo Gallery under About Us. Next, we're going to take a look at structured content. And there's a few pages under structured content you can edit if you're going to use them. One would be the coupons page. And when you get to coupons, you would just have to hit the edit button off to the right, and that would pull up a list of any coupons that you already have built in or set up. So if you want to turn a coupon on or off, you can just use the active box. Maybe you want to turn the coupon off for a month and turn it back on later. That way you don't have to delete it and recreate it. But off to the right, there's an edit button to go in and edit the details, or a delete button to remove it. And if you want to add other coupons, you would just have to click on Add Item, and you would check the enabled box for the coupon. You would put in the title for your coupon, exemptions, description. You could even put in an expiration date. Don't have to, it's not required, but if you do, the coupon would turn off automatically on that date. And of course, you would save and publish, and it's just going to structure that into a coupon for you on the website. So each coupon is going to have a printer icon built into it. That's going to pop up a printable version in a new window, and I'll add your company name to it as well. Right. We also have your hours under structured content. So you'd be able to go in and edit your hours, change the opening and closing time if need be. Maybe they change seasonally. So off to the right, you can click on the edit button, change the hours there. You also have a staff page under structured content. You would just have to hit the edit button off to the right. You would click on Add Item to add someone to the staff page. You would check the enabled box, put in their name, title or position, little bio or description about that person. You could even add their photo. Don't have to, but if you are, you would just be browsing and uploading the image off your computer. And for this, you don't have to size it. It'll size it for you. It's meant to be a headshot. Of course, you would save and publish. And what it does is on the staff page, it'll have the photos off to the right, details on the left, and it will list out each employee there that you add. So these structured content pages are very easy to update. Now in the site content section, I'm going to move on to the configuration and location information. And it defaults to the Details tab, which will have your company name, street address, phone numbers that display in a couple areas on the website, like the Contact Us page. Also at the bottom or the footer of the website, you would see those details. And if we go to the Sales and Lead Management tab, this is where you can set what email address you want the notifications to go to when the orders are filled out, and all the other forms on the website, like contact and quote request forms. So you have to have a primary email address, and you can only have one email address in the primary field, but you can add multiple email addresses to the carbon copy field. You would just have to separate them with a semicolon, like the little example shows you here. That'll bring us to the leads and orders section of the website. So when you get that email notification that you have an order, this is where you would go to view and edit, or if people fill out the contact or quote request forms. And I'm going to jump into quote requests here. Should have an example or two to look at. So it's just listing out the basic details here, and off to the right there's view and print buttons, and if we hit the view button it'll pull up the details. And with this you can see what product was being looked at, contact information that was entered, and if any comments were entered you would see that as well. And you can change the status on these leads as you're dealing with them. They show up under status of new by default, but you could change that to in progress. You could add yourself reminder notes on what you did or need to do for follow-up, save it, change it to complete when you're done. That'll bring us to the Surf Watcher. And the Surf Watcher is a reporting tool. It defaults to the month to date for the reporting period, but you can easily change that to the week, year to date. You could put in your own date range, and it defaults to the breakdown tab. And here you would be able to see how many unique visitors to the website, how many total pages they're viewing. You also get a breakdown of how people are getting to the website. So direct URL would mean they're typing in your website address, going after their favorites, or even an email with a link to the website. And then you could compare that against how many folks are getting to your website through search engines. It's also going to list out the top 5 referring domains. So if there's other websites out there that are linking to your ARI site, you'll see the top 5 list out and see how much traffic they're pushing over. And if we drop down to the Visitor Breakdown tab, you can get an idea of how many people were new visitors or people with 1 visit, or how many people were frequent visitors or people with 5+ visits. You can also see the top 10 pages getting views. It's also going to list out the products that are getting viewed. It would actually list out the product names and how many views for that reporting period. And when people start getting to your website through the search engines, it's going to list out what search terms they're using. You also get some reporting for orders or e-commerce conversions, how many dollars you made each day through the shopping cart in that reporting period. Then you get some other neat stats too, like percentage of visits to orders, average revenue per visit. So the Surf Watcher is a pretty handy reporting tool. And if we go to the site map, this will list out all the functions in the command center that you can get to through the navigation bar. It's just they're all listed out on one page. We also have our documentation tab for our help documents. And you can go into the search bar to find help documents, like how to upload pricing, or you could even search by or browse by topic for the help guides. And whenever you hit the dashboard button, that's just bringing you back to the main page of the command center. The recently viewed section on the dashboard page is just listing out the functions that were recently used in your current session in the command center. The quick link section, these are some of the more frequently used functions in those different areas of the command center, like the product manager, viewing orders. We also have manage merchandising slides. And manage merchandising slides will bring you to the offer queue, and the offer queue is listing out the slides that I currently have on my website. So if you don't want a slide on, all you'd have to do here in the offer queue is uncheck the box, hit save, and it would remove it. And if we click on pre-designed offer, it'll bring up a new window and it defaults to the brand tab. So it's just listing out categories for brands, and if we toggle to offer groups, there's some product categories on here and categories for holidays and a few other items. And when you click into these categories, it'll list out the different slides that we have. And if you want to add a slide, you just have to click on Add to Offer Queue, which will then give you a timeline option. So you could have that slide run indefinitely, or you could put in a start and end date, and that slide would turn on and turn off automatically on those dates. And once you set your timeline, you would hit save, and it would add it to the queue. And you can change the order of the slides in the queue just by clicking on the tabs and doing a drag and drop. That's what I would call a basic overview of the command center. Thank you for your time.